The last part of this discussion, guys, is we are going to talk about your heart blocks. So, guys, narinig mo na yan, heart blocks. That one is also known as your AV block. Guys, pag sinabi mong AV block, that's the same when you say atrioventricular block. Okay? Or atrioventricular heart block or heart block in simple terms. Guys, the same lang yan sila. Ang ibig sabihin yan, guys, there's a blockage on the signal received by the atrioventricular node. So guys, konting review tayo ulit. Pabalik sa iyong nodes of the heart. Guys, tell me, did we say that the SA node or the sinoatrial node of the heart is the primary pacemaker of the heart? Yes, pag primary pacemaker, taga-simula ng beat ng puso. Sinoatrial node. Anong sabi natin? The location of the sinoatrial node is in the upper chambers of the heart. That's your atrium. Then guys, sabi natin, ang pinaka-first receiver ng electrical activity conducted by the primary pacemaker or the sinoatrial node should be the AV node to produce the ventricular contraction. Correct? Yes. So, pag fire ni SA node ng electrical activity, ang unang titibok ay kung saan siya located, and that's the upper chamber of the heart, the atrium. So, pag contract ng atrium because of the firing of the electrical activity of the SA node, the next that should contract is the ventricles, because true enough, the next node that the electricity will be conducted is the AV node. Atrioventricular node, somewhere there. That one, between the AV, the atrioventricular segment, in between the atrium and the ventricle chambers. So guys, basically, your heart blocks is the problem of the conduction of the electricity from the primary pacemaker to the AV node or your secondary pacemakers, because AV node is your secondary pacemaker. Guys, SA node to the AV node, the signal transmitted should be perfect. The electrical transmission should be perfect. Dapat perfect. Dapat, guys, from the SA node to the AV node, it should only take for as minimum as 0.12 seconds until the maximum of 0.20 seconds. Dapat in between this golden period, dapat na-receive na siya ni AV node. So, ibig sabihin, from the SA node to the AV node, it should be transmitted within 0.12 seconds to 0.20 seconds. More than that, guys, ibig sabihin ma'am, more than 0.20 seconds, that's the simplest definition of a heart block. So guys, kumbaga ba, nagkaroon ng blockage sa activity nino, ni atrium at ni ventricles. Correct? Yes. So guys, isipin mo lang ha, pag-shoot ng electrical activity ng SA node mo, binigay niya kay AV node. Pero si AV node nagkaroon ng matagal na response. Guys, matagal mag-reply. Hindi siya nag-respond kaagad sa utos ng primary pacemaker. Hindi niya ni-receive kaagad ang message. Guys, that looks like a heart block. Klaro ba? Yes. And guys, take a look at that. Ito lang yung gusto kong i-memorize nyo. Di ba naturo ko to kanina? Mga maliliit na mga kailangan mong i-memorize na numbers. For this one, heart block, ang pinaka-significant dyan guys is yung 0.12 seconds natin until 0.20 seconds. Kasi yan lang yung allotted time for the SA node to transfer electrical activity to AV node. Correct? Yes. And guys, did you know 0.12 seconds to 0.20 seconds is exactly the measurement of your PR interval? Yes. Kaya ito ang significant na tinitingnan natin sa iyong heart blocks. Guys, makinig ka ng mabuti ha. PR interval. Tingnan mo. Guys, is it your PQRST? Correct? Yes. Tingnan mo to ha. Guys, is this the P wave? Yes. The Q, the R, the S, and the T wave? Yes. What did we say? PR interval is the one that's significant here in your heart blocks. Tingnan mo. Ibig sabihin, it's from the P wave to the R wave, correct? This here, the measurement here, P to the R, that's your PR interval. It's the PR interval that will tell you if there is a heart block. So in the PR interval, ma'am, what are we looking for exactly? Guys, pag mas humahaba ang time from the P wave to the R wave, that's a heart block. Again, pag nag-e-elongate ang PR interval mo, ang P to the R interval mo, ang P wave to the R wave conduction. Ibig sabihin, ma'am, from the P wave or atrial contraction to the R wave or the highest ventricular contraction intensity, pag humaba, heart block yan? Yes. And guys, did you know, PR interval, the normal length of the PR interval, it's your what? Take a good guess. 0.12 seconds until 0.20 seconds. Diba? Perfect ba? So sinasabi natin na dapat si SA node to AV node, 0.12 to 0.20 seconds lang dapat? Yes. And yan na yan din ang PR interval mo. It should take for the atrium contraction until the ventricular contraction, it should only take 0.12 seconds to 0.20 seconds. Okay? No more, no less. More than 0.20 seconds, that's what you say a heart block. Okay? That's what you define a heart block. Klaro ba? Yes. So, very easy, no? Lalo na kapag straightforward ang tanong, kapag hindi pictures ang pinapakita. Pag sinabing the PR interval is 0.22 seconds, guys, heart block yan. Okay? Walang mintis. Basta more than 0.20 seconds, heart block yan. Klaro ba? Yes. So guys, ayun ha, kasi dapat perfect ang pag-send ng electrical activity from the SA node to the AV node. Dapat ang allowable time lang natin, you get it right, paulit-ulit mo yung sabihin para ma-memorize mo, 0.12 seconds to 0.20 seconds lang. More than 0.20 seconds, you call that your what? Heart block. Klaro ba? Yes. Guys, heart block is not the same when you say atrioventricular block. Yes. And pag-uusapan natin, we have 3 different kinds of heart block. First degree, second degree, third degree heart block. Guys, by degree, based on what we said, first, second, third, guys, mas pababa ka na degrees, mas matindi, mas malala. Okay, klaro ba? Yes, mas unstable ang pasyente. So guys, you could guess it. Pag first degree heart block, guys, medyo eme-eme lang. Second degree, eme-eme. Third degree, yun yung malala. Klaro ba? Yes, so yun yung pag-uusapan natin dito ha. Guys, tignan mo. Andito, compare natin sila. Hindi ko pa sila na-label para ma-appreciate natin yung difference na meron sila. Klaro ba? Yes. So guys, tignan mo tong mabuti ha. This one here, zoom natin. The first ECG strip that we have, tignan mo guys, they look perfectly normal, correct? I-locate natin ang mga waves natin. We have the P, we have the Q, R, S, and the T wave, correct? And then they look all identical, correct? So guys, on the first brush, it doesn't look like there's an abnormal part, correct? Parang wala, parang normal naman. For on the first look, this is why it's important for you to know the metric 0.12 seconds to 0.20 seconds or 0.20 seconds. Correct ba? Tignan mo. Zoom natin. Diba? Did we say kanina when we were discussing the different sizes of the boxes and their seconds, ang small box mo, equivalent to siya to what? Guys, ilang sides meron ang box? 4 ba? Yes, so a small box is equivalent to 0.04 seconds. Then what did we say about the big box? Guys, in the big box, ilang boxes na maliliit meron? 5 ba? Yes, and when you spell the word boxes, ilang letters yan? Oh, guys, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Ibig sabihin, may 5 small boxes in one big box. One big box. There are 5 small boxes inside. Correct? Yes. So, 0.04 times 5. You're right. You get 0.20 seconds. Correct? So, anong metric mo para malaman ng PR interval? Do you just have to look at one big box? Yes. Dapat ba guys, from the P to the R, one big box lang at walang mintis? Bawal sobra. Kahit konti, bawal yung sobra. Dapat exact talaga. Yes. Silipin natin ha. Tingnan natin kung saan yung box dito na pinakamalapit sa line para ma-measure natin. Guys, ayun oh. Tingnan natin to. Guys, kasi yung R dito, nagsisimula sa line na yan. Guys, pwede natin bilangan lang ng 5 boxes para makita natin na sana yung P mo. Andito konti, di ba, sa may gitna. So, tingnan mo yan, guys. Oh, the 5 boxes should be on this line, correct? Dapat dyan lang siya. Pero tingnan mo, guys, nasaan yung P mo dito? O, di ba? Medyo umurong ba? Kita mo yan? Medyo umurong ba? Andito siya konti. Okay? Sumobra siya. Dapat ba saan lang siya? Ayun no, sabi natin, our wave was here. So dapat ang 5 boxes is until here. That's exactly 0.2 seconds. Sabi natin, more than 0.20 seconds is already a heart block. Tignan mo, sumobra na nandito na siya sa kalagitnaan. Correct? Is that more than 0.2 seconds? Yes. Kaya on the first look, if hindi mo titignan talaga ang mga boxes, hindi mo mahuhuli. This is a heart block. Guys, dahil more than 0.20 seconds yan. Sulat mo dyan ha. The first thing we have here, the first strip, since the PR interval, because that's what we're looking for in a heart block. Guys, on the first strip, the PR interval is more than 0.20. More than 0.20 seconds. Look at all the waves, guys. Are they all identical and perfect of each other? Yes. Kompleto ba lahat ng waves? Yes. Guys, pag more than 0.20 seconds yan, that's what you call your first degree heart block. So, first degree heart block mo yan. Klaro? Yes. Guys, in the first degree heart block, ang nangyari is the blockage in the signal between the atrium and the ventricles or the SA node to the AV node may delay. Okay? Hindi malala, hindi nakakatakot kasi may delay lang sa signal pero nako-conduct ba ang electricity? Nako-conduct ba ang signal? Yes. Nare-receive, nag-go through. Kaya kompleto ang waves natin. May P, may QRS, may T tayo. Correct? Yes. Medyo mabagal nga lang pero kompleto ba? Yes. Guys, that's your first degree heart block. Kailangan hanapin mo talaga para makita mo na it's more than 0.20 seconds. Correct? Yes. To say that it's a first degree heart block. Otherwise, if you're just looking at it on the first brush, you will see it's all perfect. Nothing looks abnormal. Correct? Yes. So guys, kaya nga technical ka muna para sa first degree heart block. Correct? Yes. Guys, let's take it a step further. How about when we look at the different strips we have over here? Ayun. Guys, this one is a little special. Look at that. Let's see. Do we have a P? Yes. A QRST? Yes. And then another P, QRST? Yes. And then a P. But look, the QRST disappeared. And then another P, and a QRST. And then a P, a QRST. And then a P, and a QRST. And then a P, and then nawala. Klaro? Yes. So guys, kita mo yon? Kita mo yon? Tingnan mo ang difference ha. Guys, nagkaroon ba tayo ng drop beat? Yes. Is there a P wave na walang QRST? Yes. Correct? Nawalan siya ng QRST. At look at that. Tignan mo guys. From the P to the R. Okay? Tignan mo ba naman, from the P to the R, ang nangyayari is from the P to the R. And then from the P na nawala ang R. Klaro? Yes. And then look at this one. P to the R, and then P to the R, and then the P to the R, and then the P na walang R. Klaro? Yes. Guys, can you look at that? Can you look at the PR interval here? Look at the PR interval. Short, medyo nag-elongate, nawala. Medyo short, medyo nag-elongate, nag-elongate, tapos nawala. Klaro? So guys, it's like an elongating or pahaba ng pahaba, prolonging P to R interval hanggang sa nawala ang QRS segment. Kita mo yon? Yes. Guys, that heart block, when you see that, elongating PR interval, pahaba ng PR interval until you get a drop beat. Pag sinabing drop beat, guys, nawala ang QRS. May P wave pero walang QRS. Hindi na nagkaroon ng connection sa P wave to the QRS or sa atrial contraction to the ventricular contraction. Correct? Yes. Guys, heart block ba yan? Nagkaroon ba ng blockage sa electrical activity? Yes. That one is a second degree heart block. Guys, ligay mo dyan. This one is a second degree heart block. Okay? Guys, a second degree heart block that we call a type 1. Okay? Pag sinabi mong type 1, that one is your Wenckebach. Type 1, guys, also known as your Mobitz 1. Ayan, Mobitz 1, type 1, that's your Wenckebach. So guys, eto si type 1, not so much malala. Hindi siya ganon kamalala ang second degree heart block mo. Because the other one is also a second degree heart block, yung nasa baba, this one. It's also a second degree heart block. Guys, but this one is what you call your type 2 or your Mobitz 2 heart block. Guys, siya lang yung may when ka back, si Mobitz 2 wala na. Guys, tignan mo ang pinagkaiba ha. Kung si type 1 when ka back na second degree heart block. Type 1 second degree, pahaba ng pahaba ng pahaba hanggang sa nawala. Tapos pahaba ng pahaba ng pahaba hanggang sa nawala. Kumbaga, parang may warning ba, 'di ba? Parang mapre-predict ni SA node mo na hindi 'to magre-reply kasi parang humahaba yung time ng reply ng AV node ko. Klaro ba? Yes, but look at your second degree type 2, Mobitz type 2. Tingnan mo guys ha, look at the PR interval. This one, the PR interval in the type 2 heart block, first you have the P to the R, and then the P to the R, the P, and then nawala ang QRS. And then the P to the R, P to the R, P to the R. Okay, klaro ba yon? Yes, tignan mo guys, the sizes of the PR interval. Look at the sizes of the PR interval until it's gone. Nawala. Guys, PR, PR, PR. Guys, is the sizes or the intervals of the PR the same? Yes, pareho silang lahat. Guys, pareho ang sizes. Consistent. Consistent ang PR interval same ang time and duration ng lahat Nag-text siya, nag-reply, masaya. Nag-text siya, nag-reply, okay. Nag-text siya, uy, biglang hindi nag-reply. Biglang nag-awol, biglang nawala, biglang nag-ghost, di ba? Guys, nag-text siya ulit, nag-reply. Nag-text siya, nag-reply. Consistent. Nag-text siya, nag-reply. Hanggang sa mawala na naman. Bigla-bigla lang mawawala nang hindi mo alam. Bigla-bigla kang iiwan sa ere nang hindi mo alam. Klaro ba? Delikado ba yun? Yes, that one more dangerous. Kasi as compared to your type 1 Mobitz 1 when kebak, your type 2 Mobitz 2 second degree heart block does not give a warning that it will give you a drop beat. Pag sinabing drop beat, nawala ang QRS. May P-wave ka, pero hindi nasundan ng QRS segment. Klaro ba? Yes. So, kita mo yon guys. Kaya in a second degree, type 1, Mobitz 1, when kebak, that's a lot better kasi you give or you get a warning. In a prolonged PR interval na humahaba ng humahaba, mas mararamdaman mo, ito, mag-aawol to or manggo-ghost to. Pero guys, in your second degree type 2 Mobitz 2, consistent siya consistent ang replies, consistent ang effort, pero bigla-bigla na lang nawala. Consistent, hindi mo alam kailan mawawala kasi consistent naman. Tapos bigla na lang magdo-drop beat. Bigla na lang wala ng QRS, 'di ba? Guys, mas delikado 'yun. Second degree heart block na type 2 or Mobitz 2 dahil walang warning kung kailan magkakaroon ng drop beat. Klaro ba? Yes. So ilagay mo diyan, the difference is that this has no warning before a drop beat. Bigla-bigla ka na lang i-ghost. Klaro? Yes, just like what happened here. Compared to your type 1 Mobitz 1 when kebak na second degree, there's a warning. This one is predictable because you can see the elongating or the prolonging interval of the PR as compared to your second degree type 2, there is no warning. Suddenly, you get a drop beat. Suddenly, you are ghosted. And guys, remember this. Yan ang nakakatakot as compared to the type 1 Mobitz 1 because your type 2 Mobitz 2 can develop into a third degree heart block, the heart block that we do not want. Kasi guys, tignan mo to. This one is an example of a third degree heart block. Tignan mo, in a third degree heart block, it's a different kind of blockage. Kasi the heart block here, ibig sabihin guys, lahat ng sinesend na electrical activity ng SA node mo or ng P-wave mo ay wala nang pake ang iyong AV node. Hindi niya na tinatanggap, hindi niya na pinapakialaman. Guys, kumbaga, nag-friendship over na sila dito. Tingnan mo ang nangyari sa electrocardiogram mo. You have a P-wave. Dapat after the P-wave, you get a perfect QRST, correct? Yes, but the QRST is so delayed. Look at that. How many boxes before the QRST? It takes at least 3 boxes, 3 big boxes. And you know that if it's more than 0.20 seconds, that's a heart block. What more if it's more than 1, 2, 3 kind, no? It's 0.20 seconds times 3. Kasi sabi natin, one big box is equivalent to 0.20 seconds. Correct? Yes. So what more if tatlo yan? Sobrang heart block na yan. Tapos sinabayan pa ng QRST na sobrang layo. Tapos another P, pero ang tagal bago nag-QRST. Tapos may P, tapos may P ulit, tapos QRST. Guys, kumbaga ba, sa nangyari dito sa electrocardiogram mo, no? Wala nang connection ang beating ng P to the QRS. Bale, wala nang connection ang sinoatrial node to the AV node. May kanya-kanyang buhay na sila, guys. Tumitibok na sila on their own. Hindi na nila sinusunod yung perfect electrical activity ng heart na dapat magsimula sa primary pacemaker at dapat sundan ng iba pang nodes after the SA node. Correct? Yes. Ngayon, in a third degree heart block, hindi na yan nasusunod. Pag beat ng SA node mo, walang pake ang ibang node. Lalo na yung first receiver. Sino yon? Si AV node. Kanya-kanya na silang buhay sa third degree heart block. Klaro ba? Yes. Kaya kung makikita mo, P wave is not right away followed by a QRS segment. Dapat ganun yung nangyari. Nag-delay ang QRS mo. Correct? And then, ang tagal before nag-P wave ulit. And then, ang tagal before nag-QRS segment. So, guys, they don't have a connection anymore. There is a total disconnection on your P to the QRS. Total disconnect. So, ibig sabihin, guys, pag sinabing total disconnect, there is a total blockage. Total blockage. They are no longer coordinated in terms of the beating of the heart. The beating of the heart is no longer perfect. Correct ba? Yes. Kaya kung mapapansin mo guys, no, it's the third degree heart block that we really manage. Because it's the third degree heart block that will really give your patient hemodynamic instability. HI, hemodynamic instability that will present in the patient's brain, in the patient's heart, in the patient's body. Klaro? Yes. Guys, if hindi na maayos ang tibok ng puso mo, hindi yan kaya mag-sustain ng life. Ito yung klase ng tao, guys, yung may mga third degree heart block, sila yung madalas nagkakaroon ng fainting spells. So pag sinabi mong fainting spells, bigla-bigla lang nahihimatay. Fainting spells, also known as your syncope spells or syncope spells. So sila yung mga bigla-bigla lang nahihimatay. Klaro ba? Yes, naghihimatay kahit walang ginagawa. Guys, kahit natutulog, papahinga, biglang mahihimatay. Yes, kasi ang nangyari sa puso nila, hindi na talaga coordinated ang beat. Correct? Yes. So, sabi natin, dapat ang puso mo perfect ba? Yes. Para maayos ang bomba ng dugo sa katawan? Yes. Lalo na sa vital organs? Yes. So, kung palyado yon, guys, fainting spells, syncope spells, saan mo makukuha yan? Sa third degree heart block. Kung saan, block na sila sa isa't isa. Friendship over na ang SA node to the AV node mo. Correct? Yes. So, guys, yan ha, may hemodynamic instability ka na. Sa brain, you present with altered level of consciousness. Sa heart, you can present with chest pain. And sa body, you can present with low blood pressure. All because of a third degree heart block. An electrical activity no longer conducted properly in your heart to produce proper heart contractions. Klaro? Yes. So guys, tignan mo to. In a third degree heart block, this is the one that we manage because this is the one that's life-threatening, correct? As compared to the other blocks of the heart. So guys, in a third degree heart block, what are we gonna do as a management? Since this one can really cause fainting spells, tandaan mo to, ang first thing na gagawin mo guys, since kung mapapansin mo, ang bagal ng conductivity dyan, kailangan pabilisin mo. So guys, ang gagawin mo, you give the drug. You know this drug. Tinuro natin to kanina. Atropine sulfate. Correct? So, nasa series to natin dito sa cardiac dysrhythmias mo. Do not skip the part. You start from the atrial problems until you reach heart block para everything will make sense. Klaro ba? Yes. So, guys, atropine sulfate, do you also know as that one as your anticholinergic? Yes. Guys, pag sinabing anticholinergic, ibig sabihin ibig sabihin bawal ang choline, anti-choline. O, sino yung choline na bawal dito, guys? That's your acetylcholine. Guys, tell me, is that the largest neurotransmitter for the parasympathetic nervous system? Yes. Also known as your rest and digest? Yes. So guys, pag nangyayari yan, binababa ba ng acetylcholine ng heart rate ng katawan mo, ng puso mo? Yes. So guys, when you are giving atropine sulfate, which is an anticholinergic, do you block acetylcholine? Yes. So do you block the stimulation of the parasympathetic nervous system? Yes. So do you block the rest and digest? Yes. So do you inhibit the low heart rate and produce a higher heart rate now? Yes. So question, ma'am, why do we want a higher heart rate for a patient with third-degree heart block? Guys, tingnan mo lang ang bagal ng conductivity ng puso niya kung titignan mo yung strip na to. Correct ba? Yes. So giving atropine sulfate, you want to shorten the gap in between the conduction of the P to the QRS. Correct? Para mas mapabilis mo ang heart rate. Tama? Yes, para mawala ang fainting spells and syncope spells niya, bigyan mo ng maayos na circulation ang brain by allowing the heart to pump a little faster. Okay? So may tachycardia na mangyayari dito because of the what? Atropine sulfate. Klaro? And then, if hindi nag-work ang atropine sulfate, guys, alam mo na to. The number 2 thing that you're gonna do, since we said that your third-degree heart block can really cause the patient to faint, okay, for no reason at all because of the heart's problem in the conductivity. Can we do the pacing? Guys, can we do transcutaneous pacing? Yes. Diba natura natin to kanina? Yes. Tell me, guys, when we do transcutaneous pacing, are we using a defibrillator machine? DM, defibrillator machine? Yes. Guys, when we're using the defibrillator machine to do transcutaneous pacing, do we need to put it on a pacer mode? Pacer setting? Yes. Kung wala ang pacer setting, hanapin mo ang pace. Yes. Kung wala ang pace, hanapin mo ang pacing. Tama? Yes. So guys, tell me, pag nagpe-pace tayo, do we need to turn off the oxygen tank? Yes. Or else, sasabog tayong lahat pag may nag-escape na electrical shock from the pacing mode na ginawa natin at open ng oxygen tank. Correct? Yes. So, turn off the oxygen tank ba? Yes. Do we also have to sedate the patient kasi the patient cannot be awake? Yes. Kasi guys, it's very painful and uncomfortable to deliver the shock directly on the chest to pace the heart of the patient while the patient is awake. Correct? Yes. So, the patient cannot be awake. Do we have to sedate? Yes, make sure the patient is sedated before you do your transcutaneous pacing. Correct? Yes. So again, guys, no, kung hindi ka pa rin familiar when we say transcutaneous pacing, that's delivering direct electrical activity from the chest of the patient using the defibrillator machine set on a pacer or pace or pacing mode to deliver mga maliliit na shock to try and pace the SA node. Okay? To try and pace, ibig sabihin, ikaw na ang magbibigay ng heartbeat sa kanya para maayos ang heartbeat niya. Okay? Bibigay ka ng at least 60 to 100 beats per minute. Ipipace mo yung puso niya using the transcutaneous pacer, using your defibrillator machine in a pacer mode. Gets ba? Yes. So yun ha, kaya kailangan, since you're delivering electrical activity sa chest, sedated ang pasyente. Klaro? Yes. Okay? And you do that kasi hindi na nag-work ang ayong atropine sulfate. Klaro ba yon? Yes. And guys, ang pinaka-last part dito, no, for the management, guys, is if hindi nag-work ang transcutaneous pacing and ang pasyente mo may third-degree heart block pa rin, lagi pa rin nagfe-faint, guys, dangerous yan kasi ang magsasuffer is ang brain mo. Ibig sabihin, laging hindi nakaka-receive ng maayos na circulation ang brain cells mo. So, they can die. That can produce complications na life-threatening to the patient. So, guys, no, ang last recourse natin, lalo na for third-degree heart blocks, dito natin ipapasok yung concept ng iyong pacemakers. Klaro ba? Yes. So guys, just like the drawing that I have here or the picture that I have here, that's an example of a pacemaker. Klaro? Yes. So guys, pacemaker. Ibig sabihin, mag-a-attach ka na ng device. Yung device na yon ang magbibigay ng electrical activity sa puso mo para maging perfect ang electrical activity sa puso mo. Kasi 'di ba, sabi natin, in a third degree heart block, the electrical conductivity of the heart is so imperfect, so ugly, kaya hindi na coordinated ang iyong atrium and ventricular contraction, ang iyong SA node and your AV node, correct? Yes. So, ang last recourse natin, maglalagay tayo ng pacemaker, the one that makes the pace. Hence the word pacemaker. Siya na ang magbibigay ng kumpas ng puso mo to sustain life para hindi ka laging nahihimatay, para mawala ang fainting spells mo, ang iyong syncope spells, para mawala ang hemodynamic instability sa katawan mo. Problems in the brain, heart, and body, para hindi ka na magkaroon ng altered level of consciousness, para hindi ka na magkaroon ng chest pain, at para hindi ka na magkaroon ng low blood pressure. Correct? Yes. Kasi 'di ba, heart is the most important organ of in the body, if you can argue, correct? It's the one that supplies all the vital organs, the circulation and oxygenation that they need. Tama? Yes. So the heart cannot be weak. Correct? Yes. So we put a pacemaker for your third degree heart block as a last resort. So guys, ayun no, the first question is, pacemaker guys, that's the one you have over there. Saan mo yan nilalagay? Location. Guys, ayan, this is your right, this is your left. Nasaan siya nakalagay? Sa may left banda ba? Yes. So guys, ang location niyan, this is the one we implant. Ini-implant natin yan guys under, okay? Madalas under the fat tissue yan ng breast, okay? Under the fat of the left breast, okay? So kung makikita mo nasa left breast siya or sa left pectoralis, okay? Ayan, nasa left breast siya. And then guys, ayun no, this one. This one is what you call the generator. So guys, from the word itself, generator, that's the one that gives the pacing of the heart. Siya ang nagbibigay sa'yo ng electrical activity to conduct the heart in a specific phase. So madalas guys, nilalagay natin yan within 60 to 100 beats per minute to mimic a normal heart rate. Klaro ba? Yes, and to sustain life. Okay? And then this one, guys, for the pacing, it's the doctor that decides or the surgeon that decides kung anong klaseng pacing ang kailangan ng pasyente mo. Klaro ba? Yes. And then this one naman, guys, that one you see over there, that one is your leads. Klaro? Leads mo naman yan. Diyan nagge-generate or tumatravel yung electrical activity na binigay ng generator mo towards the heart. Ayun, kita mo, nasan yung dulo niya? Nasa right chamber ng heart ba? Yes, 'di ba? Parang kinakopy niya yung location ng SA node mo. Kasi si SA node mo, guys, nandyan ba siya sa right atrium mo? Yes, 'di ba? So nasa right atrium to the right ventricle yang lead mo, guys. And that's the one that conducts the electricity. Guys, that's the one that conducts the electrical activity in the heart to allow the heart to beat perfectly. Klaro ba? Yes. And then guys, in your generator guys, the battery that we are using is we're using your lithium battery. Ayan. Lithium battery yan ha. For some references, no, it says that the lithium battery can last you for at least 6 to 12 years. Some naman says it will last you at least 10 years. Klaro? Ayan. So guys, pili ka lang kung anong available sa choice. Ang sabi ng Brunner and Sudarth mo, it's 6 to 12 years. Sabi naman ng Saunders mo, the lithium battery can last at least 10 years. Klaro? Yes. So guys, after 6 to 12 years, no, hindi mo isasagad ng 12 years or 10 years. Yan. Meron ka ng scheduled date before that arrival of the year para i-change na yung pacemaker mo, klaro, or i-change yung battery, whichever needs to be changed, klaro, when that happens. So guys, during pacemaker, pag may pacemaker ka na, syempre dapat may mga care tayo na ginagawa dito. So, i-discuss natin yan dito. Ano yung mga kailangan mong gawin? Guys, kapag may pacemaker ka na, guys, ang pinakauna, no, ilalagay natin to sa immediate. Sa immediate naman, immediate post-op, importante to. This is madalas na tinatanong, lalo na sa mga NCLEX question mo, high yield. Guys, immediate post-op, ano ang pinaka-importanting nursing management? Ang gagawin mo dito, guys, is to make sure to immobilize. Immobilize the arm. Anong klaseng arm yan? It's your left arm. You immobilize your left arm kasi when you look at the picture here, no, nasa pectoralis ng left chest mo ang iyong generator. So guys, pag ginalaw-galaw mo yung left arm mo, masyadong magalaw ang left arm mo or nagdadala ka ng mabigat sa left arm mo, hindi mo na immobilize yan. In the immediate post-op, the most common complication is the dislodgement of the leads. Okay? So yung leads na dapat nandito sa right right side of the heart, pag gumalaw-galaw itong arm mo dito, okay, post-op immediate, ang mangyayari, madidislodged ang lead. So, yan ang immobilization of the arm. We do that to prevent your lead dislodgement. Klaro? Yes. So, ma'am, Pag na-dislodge pala ang lead, anong mangyayari? Isipin mo, kung na-dislodge ang lead, guys, imbes na nandito siya sa right ventricle, aakyat siya ng konti, nandun na siya sa may superior vena cava. Eh di hindi niya makokonduct yung electricity na kailangan ng heart mo, hindi mo mapipace yung heart mo so the right heart rate para mag-sustain ng life. So yung pasyente, parang walang implanted na pacemaker, pwede pa rin mahimatay, pwede pa rin magkaroon ng hemodynamic instability, correct? Yes, so hindi mo maproproduce yung gusto mong effect, kaya ka nag-pacemaker kasi na-dislodge yung lead mo eh. So again guys, anong pinakaunang gagawin ng nurse in the immediate post-op? It's to make sure you immobilize the arm concerned, and that's the left arm. Claro, to prevent the lead dislodgement of your pacemaker, to produce the pacemaker effect that you want, which is to prevent yung mga syncope episodes mo or yung mga fainting spells mo, and to pace the heart properly in order to sustain life. Klaro ba? Yes. Ayun na, in that immediate post-op. General na tayo na mga management for a pacemaker. Remember this ha, number one, you always have to carry a card or identification card, or guys, kung wala ka niyan, dapat bracelet that says that you have a pacemaker, that you are a pacemaker owner. Kayangan mo yan. Klaro ba? Yes. Why? In case of emergency, guys, dapat klaro, visible sa wrist mo that you own a pacemaker so that the healthcare professional knows you have a pacemaker. Why? Kasi pag may pacemaker ka, made of metal yan. Bawal yan sa mga may high electromagnetical field tulad ng MRI. Klaro ba? Yes. And remember guys, MRI ha, bawal sa'yo yan. Eh may pacemaker ka. So pag may mangyari sa'yo buyag-buyag, hindi pwedeng i-MRI ka basta-basta, or else kakalabit dun sa MRI machine ng pacemaker mo, matatanggal. Masakit yan kasi under yan sa subcutaneous tissue ng chest mo, correct? 'Di ba? So masakit 'yan. At higit sa lahat, mawawala ang pacing ng heart mo, pwede mo pang ikamatay. Klaro ba? Yes. So kailangan you bring your identification card or bracelet that tells you're a pacemaker owner. Ano pa? Guys, also kailangan mo 'yan para hindi ka magmukhang kriminal kasi hindi ka pwedeng dumaan sa mga security guard na may security wands. Nakita mo na 'yon, yung batuta ng mga security guard pero flat siya, para siyang sword na short, okay? Para siyang sword, guys, na pinutol ng kalahati. So yun, no? That one is used to detect if you have anything, mga anti-theft and anti-metal, mga metal detectors, no? So that one is a security wand. So yung security wand ng mga police sa malls, sa airports, or sa mga establishment, bawal dun ang pacemaker mo kasi mataas ang magnetic field nun, okay? Masisira ang pacemaker mo, guys. Pwedeng ma-disrupt, okay? Ma-disrupt yung electrical activity na binibigay niya sa puso mo. So, guys, pag dumaan ka sa mga detectors na yun, ha, magmumukha kang magnanakaw kasi sabihin mo hindi ka pwedeng dumaan dyan. So, kailangan meron kang bracelet or ID that says and proves that, hey, I have a pacemaker, I cannot pass there. It's not that I'm a thief. It's just that I can't because my heart will stop beating, okay? Ganun sabihin mo. Tama ba? Kaya importante yan, ha? That's the first thing you teach your patient. And then the second thing, guys, tell them, you cannot go in an area with, bawal sa'yo ha, no electromagnetic fields allowed. Ayan. So guys, enumerate natin sino-sino yan sila ha, ano-ano yan. Guys, pinakauna, wag mong kalimutan, MRI, bawal sa'yo. Okay? Guys, ano pang bawal sa'yo? Guys, mga radio. Guys, radio, klaro, bawal sa'yo yan. Ano pa? Guys, yung mga satellite. Satellite, guys, yung mga satellite ng signal, okay? Bawal kang lumapit dyan, okay? Kasi mataas ang electromagnetic field dyan. Guys, mga generators. Mga generators ha, bawal ka lumapit dyan. Kasi guys, again, pag lumapit ka sa mga may mataas na electromagnetic field, madidisrupt ang electrical signal na binibigay ng pacemaker mo. Yung puso mo ang pwedeng mag-suffer kasi hindi siya nakaka-receive ng maayos na pacing to sustain life, to sustain the heartbeat necessary for life. Klaro ba? Yes. Ano yung sabi ko kanina, guys? Bawal din sa'yo ang mga security wands. Okay? So guys, ang madalas na tinatanong is, guys, pag dumaan ka daw sa mga anti-theft anti-theft na ano ng malls, like yung sa Uniqlo or Pen Shop guys, yung mga nakatayo ganyan na pag dumaan ka magbi-beep, okay? Magbi-beep kasi nakaka-detect ng metal in your body, yung mga metal similar to the appliances that they have there or mga goods that they have inside their stores. Guys, yung mga anti-theft na yan ha, just note, etong mga anti-theft, dapat guys, dumaan ka dyan briskly. Pag sinabing briskly, guys, briefly, mabilisan ka dapat dumaan dyan. So, magmumukha ka na namang magnanakaw, okay? Mabilis ang takbo mo pag dumadaan ka sa mga anti-theft na mga malls. Kasi guys, hindi ka pwedeng magtagal dyan. Pag nagtagal ka dyan, pwedeng ma-disrupt yung electrical activity na ginagawa ng pacemaker mo that paces your heart for a proper heartbeat, okay? So, ang gagawin mo, you briskly walk, you briefly walk, okay? And then you show them your pacemaker ID. Claro? Guys, why? You know, currently, yung mga anti-theft na meron tayo, no, most of them are pacemaker friendly na. But some of them, guys, still react with the pacemaker, can still disrupt the electrical activity of the pacemaker. But in just a very little effect lang naman. Kaya kailangan mong gawin, you briskly walk on them or you briefly walk on them. So, mabilisang daan lang. Klaro ba? Yes. So, ganun ang gagawin mo. Klaro? And then you show your pacemaker ID para hindi ka magmukhang magnanakaw. Klaro ba? Yes. So, ganyan ha sa mga anti-theft mo. Guys, ang tanong, yung mga nakikita natin sa airport, yung mga dinadaanan ng bags natin para ma-assess kung may laman ba yun sa loob na mga delikadong mga bagay. At siyang dinadaan natin guys na malaking yung metal detector sa airport guys. Tanong, pwede ba yun sa taong may pacemaker? The answer is yes, no? Most of these metal detectors we have in airports, they are almost all pacemaker friendly. Klaro ba? Yes. And guys, no, you also have to tell yung mga security guards doon na you carry a pacemaker with you so that if they are still using the old ones, no, ng mga metal detectors na mataas ang electromagnetic field, wag ka nang dumaan, okay? Because you're risking your pacemaker's electrical activity. And then guys, ang mahilig tanungin dito is about your phone, your cellular phones. How do you manage your cellular phone if you already have a pacemaker? Just remember guys, you do not put it on pocket. Yung pocket, do not put place on pocket on chest, 'di ba? May mga polo na may pocket sa chest tulad nito. Okay? So guys, yan ang pinakamalapit yan ha, nasa chest mo yan kahit nasa right to nasa chest mo yan. Hindi pwedeng malapit sa pacemaker yan. Why? Because your phone, it has an electromagnetic field. The electromagnetic field of your phone strong enough to disrupt the electrical activity of the pacemaker. So guys, kung gagamit ka ng phone, just make sure that your phone should be at least 6 to 12 inches away. Okay? Dapat yan 6 to 12 inches away from your pacemaker. So, andito ang pacemaker mo sa left, di ba? So, dapat ang ikaw, habang nag-uusap ka sa cellphone mo, ay nakaganito. Okay? Hello, okay? Naka-loudspeaker, okay? 6 to 12 inches away from your phone. So that's the metric, no? When you are handling your cell phones around your pacemaker. Claro? And ano pa guys, lastly, you cannot beep with objects na may magnet. For example guys, mga jewelry na may magnet. For example guys, mga speakers. Ayan, ng karaoke, malakas ang magnet niyan. Claro ba? Bawal ka din dyan. Number 3, ano pa? Failure to capture. Guys, failure to capture naman. Remember this, no? In an electrocardiogram, you will know that the patient has a pacemaker kasi makakakita ka ng mga vertical straight lines. That tells you kung nasaan yung pacemaker at saan yung effect niya. So guys, for example, this one, if you see the pacemaker spikes, ang tawag natin doon pacemaker spikes, ayan, spikes mo yan ha, guys. If you see the spikes, every before the P wave, you see a spike. Ayan. Ibig sabihin, that's the pacemaker spike. Ibig sabihin, may pacemaker ang pasyente mo. The vertical straight line is the pacemaker spikes. Will tell you which part of the chambers of the heart is the pacemaker giving a pace or giving the necessary electrical activity to conduct the electrical activity of the heart. Klaro? So ito, before the P wave, ibig sabihin guys, it's the atrium. Correct? The upper chamber. Now, ulitin ko, how about if you see the pacemaker spikes in the before the QRS segment. Ayan. So, ibig sabihin lang yan, ang pinipace ng pacemaker ng pasyente ay ano? Ang ventricles niya. Klaro ba? Yes, ganun yun ha. So guys, when you say failure to capture, ibig sabihin, you see a spike but it does not conduct any waves. This one is an example of a failure to capture, guys. Tingnan mo, there is a pacemaker spike over here, and then you have the perfect P wave QRST. Pacemaker spike, the vertical straight line, and then the perfect PQRST. And then the vertical line, but there's no PQRST. Vertical line, there's no PQRST. Correct? So, ang ibig sabihin yan, guys, failure to capture. Correct? Hindi niya na-capture yung dapat na ma-capture niya na rhythm, which is the P wave to the R to the QRS. Correct? Yes. So, guys, yan ang example ng failure to capture mo, ha? Pag nangyari yan, ibig sabihin there's a pacemaker malfunction. Malfunction yan ha, hindi nagagawa ng pacemaker mo yung dapat na trabaho niya. So, anong gagawin mo pag nangyari yan, guys? You have to call MD. Klaro? Call the doctor kasi hindi pwede yan. Pag nagtuloy-tuloy yan, guys, pwede kang magkaroon ng asystole. Pwede mag-stop yung pag-beat ng heart mo. Klaro ba? Yes. So, you call the doctor. Klaro ba yan? Yes. Kaya kailangan ang pasyente na may pacemaker, they must have a heart rate diary. Guys, pag sinabi mong heart rate diary or in short, guys, diary, dito mo nilalagay ang everyday heart rate mo. So guys, bibilangin mo ang heart rate mo everyday in 1 full minute. Kailangan naka-record yan. Klaro? The best time to do that is in the morning, AM, when you wake up. You try and record your heart rate. So you count your heart rate manually. So ikaw as nurse, before you discharge the patient, you teach the patient how to count their pulse rate kasi they need to record that in their heart rate logbook or diary. Klaro? Yes. Bakit importante yan? Kasi again, tulad nung tinuro ko kanina, your pacemaker, pag nilalagay yan dyan sa'yo, nakaset yan ang record kung ano yung heart rate na ibibigay niyan sa'yo. So, dapat in your diary, the heart rate that you're able to measure is the heart rate that is paced on you by the pacemaker. So, guys, you have to report if the heart rate is not on the paced heart rate is not followed. Ibig sabihin, masyadong mabagal, you report. Masyadong mabilis from the paced heart rate, you report. Klaro ba? Yes. And guys, number 4, don't forget, eto. Guys, when the patient starts to complain about hiccups, pag meron siyang naging hiccups na hindi nawawala, yung hiccup lang ng hiccup, okay? Laging nag-hiccup, guys, kapag may pacemaker, tapos nag-hiccup, guys, be worry. Kasi ibig sabihin yan, baka nagkaroon tayo ng lead dislodgement. Ayan, dislodgement. Remember, kanina tinuro natin na dislodge yung lead early on kapag siya ay post-op, immediate post-op, kaya kailangan naka-immobilize ang kamay. Yes. So what will tell us the patient's lead has dislodged early on or even late after na nalagay ang pacemaker niya nung siya ay pinakawalan, nakalaya na sa hospital, nakalaya, na-discharge na. Klaro? Yes, guys, lead dislodgement will appear as hiccups. Why? Because when the leads are dislodged, they get to excite the phrenic nerve. Guys, phrenic nerve, malapit yan kung nasaan yung lead mo na di-dislodge. So guys, pag na-excite mo ang phrenic nerve, ang effect niyan sa'yo, hiccups. A hiccup that is nagging. That's always there. Klaro? That's the phrenic nerve stimulation of the dislodged lead. So that one you also report to the doctor. Klaro ba? Yes. And that's all for your pacemaker and your heart blocks, guys. I hope you learned. Bye!